And welcome back. Today we have this really nice ergo chair that is really good for computers. If you're doing work on a desk, this is going to be a really nice one to check out. The company is HBada. I don't know how to pronounce that besides that, HBada. But let me know if you guys have ever heard of them. I'm gonna leave this in the description below. That way you guys get hooked up with something really nice. If you guys are brand new to the channel, consider subscribing. And if you're a returning subscriber, welcome back. Try to get you guys here all the latest and greatest stuff. So let's go ahead and open this guy up. Very excited. I am due for an upgrade with my chair. As you guys know, I'm always sitting, editing, doing stuff like that. A lot of content creators, that's what they do. So they want something comfortable. So all right, let's check this out. Now I have to say, unpacking this took about 6 minutes. It is very heavy. The box is not light. I was able to pick it up and move it around a little bit, but it's a heavy chair. So you do get a little instruction manual right there. Some of it is in Chinese, French, German, of course, the English. So all you have to do is just find the page and it says, please carefully read the instructions, the drawings. It's kind of weird how they have it. Like they have the languages for pretty much everybody, but you kind of have to scroll through. It's like English and then it switches to a bunch of language. And then it gives you the instructions and then it switch over to like a bunch of languages again. So kind of like you have to filter it out. So instructions look like it's going to be pretty simple. So let's go ahead and set this up and hopefully figure this out. So the first thing is you do get a little manual here and you just have to scroll through to find the instructions. Now the instructions are kind of vague. They're not the best instructions that I've seen actually. These instructions look pretty vague to me. Now there is a QR code here to check the installation video. And it kind of walks you through it. So I haven't checked it. I'm just going based on the instructions. So based on the instructions, this is how we're going to set it up. So hopefully it's not terrible. You do get also some screws. So be sure that you check that out. The book does tell you everything that you need to have. So, okay, step one, it says, it shows this and it says pull out the decorative cover upwards, then insert the legs into the center axis of the base and then tighten them with the F screws. So these screws are labeled. The only legs that I see are these guys. So that's kind of what I'm assuming. And it looks like there is 5 of them. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you do get 5. So let's go ahead and put this on now. Now the way to know if you're putting this on right, when you do take the sleeve out, this does come up like this, put it down, and it only goes in one way. You can't flip this upside down and do it the other way. It won't fit. So the best way to do it is you want to flip it upside down, and these things only go one way. You cannot mess this up. It cannot go the opposite way. So you want to go all the way inside to the inside hole. There is 2 holes, one on the outside, but the inside hole is the only one that these screws will fit. So again, you can't really mess this up. It's kind of hard. So typically what I'll do is I'll put one in, put the screw halfway in, just simply hand tightening it. And then again, I'll just do the next thing until I go all the way around and I at least have all the legs in. So pretty easy. Okay, so the next step is you want to get the wheels. And these are pretty simple. Obviously you get 5 of them for the 5 legs. And all you got to do is just pop them in just like that on every end of it. So take your time when you are doing it. Again, this thing is heavy. This is a heavy duty chair, so you just want to make sure you put a little bit of force when you're putting in the wheels, and then you should be able to flip it upside. So here we go, flipping it back upright. And the thing that we took off here, we now want to put it right there like this. So now we have the base. Now just looking at the instructions here, it looks like this is going to be the next piece that we throw in here. So it looks like it should just drop just like that. So nothing crazy, just drop it in and that's it. Okay, so now that we have that done, we are going to be installing the footrest. So this is the only one that looks like that from everything. This is where your feet goes. Pretty simple. Here is the rod, and again, this is going to be the only rod that looks like that. Very, very certain how this looks. They're very specific. It won't look like anything else. So what this is, it's going to have a special design that goes right in here. All you got to do is just fit it in. Now, the way you know that there's going to be two ends of it. One end has a screw. The other one end has two holes. The two holes goes in here because there's also two screws that you're going to put on. Now, according to the directions, once you put this in, you're going to need the 2G screws. So if you get your thing here again, there's one labeled G and there's only two screws. So pop those out, put them into the holes with this thing, and then tighten them up. So just like that is exactly how you're gonna do it. Very, very simple and easy to do. So make sure they're tight, not too crazy tight. Make sure they're not loose either. Now the next step is you wanna find this little piece here, and you wanna find your seat. So this part is gonna go, there's gonna be 4 holes here, and this thing has 4 holes. All you gotta do is just line it up perfectly and then screw them on. Now the way to know you have this right, the easiest way of checking is this is gonna be the front part and this is gonna be the back part. So the way to know is back here, the back part, this has all these holes where the front part doesn't. Now, when it comes to putting this on, you see how the lip is sticking out here, and then down here is just the square, the base. So you want to put the base on this part on the bottom without the holes, and that extra lip that comes out facing upwards towards the holes on the top. So it's going to go just like this, and then put the screws on. Now I think the screws, according to this, it's going to be 4H screws. So pull those out and tighten them up. And then now the final piece is putting this in here. You do want to take this screw out because it won't let you place it in. Now there is only literally one way of putting this in, so you can't really mess this up. This hole only goes one specific way, and this is the only part that's not connected to this. So just slide it in, and then you're going to want to put the screw right back where you found it. And literally the only purpose for that screw, because you could still slide this back and forth, is just to stop it from coming back out. That's pretty much it. So pretty cool. That's how you do it. That's how you have it set up. So just keep that in mind. Now, if you are trying to hide the legs, if you don't want to use them, you could always tuck it in just like this. And then now you'll have the legs like hanging out right here down at the bottom. If you want to use them, they'll just hang out right there. You just got to pull it out, and then you should be fine. Now the next part is going to be the base. This is the hydraulics thing. So really easy to put together. You already have this there on the base. This only fits one way. It cannot fit inwards this way because now you have this part that's going to be towards the legs. You want this part to be opposite because this is where you're going to connect your back to it. So there is also a thing here that says front pointing that way, meaning this is the front, this is the back. You want this to be pointing back here, and I think that's pretty much it. Now there's going to be 3 holes here. The center hole on the back of on your butt has the actual screw itself, the grip. The other 2 are just placeholders. They're just a hole. So you want to be sure when you put this in, you put it right in the middle of the 3 on all sides around. So let's get the screws now and tighten this up. Now, according to this, it says screw it with the D screws. So this is going to be the longer screws here. So again, just find the holes. Very, very simple. I normally just place it in and do just like one turn, just so that way I could adjust this if I need to. And then once you have it lined up perfectly, just go ahead and tighten them all up and you should be good to go. Okay, so the next part is gonna be this guy. This is your back. We're getting pretty close to the end here, so just keep following along. These brackets go down here on the bottom, and they are labeled with, I don't know if you guys can see that, but it does say left, and the other one does say right. So if you try to put them backwards, it won't fit. They only fit one way possible. So very easy to do. Again, everything just fits a certain specific way. According to this also, it says that you use the B screws. So it's gonna be 4 of them, 2 on each side. Now it is kind of tricky because I know I've been showing you guys here how to put them in. This one's a little bit harder. It's gonna be inside here. So all you gotta do is just slide it in like this. There's gonna be 2 sides here, or 2 holes, 2 on this side and 2 on the opposite end. Once you put them in, just tighten them up. Typically, I like to just move it around, hand tighten it, and then I'll tighten it up more with this guy. So let's go ahead and do that now. Now, when you do tighten them, listen to this. It does make like a wrenching sound, and that's when you know it's tightening up. Just keep going until it stops turning. And for me, I'm actually holding it from this end while I'm turning it, so that's how it does it. Again, very, very simple. Just cranking these in there, very, very easy and fast to do. So just be patient when you're doing this. See? So that's just the locking mechanism, just tightening it up. So just the other thing too I want to mention, as I've been putting this together, I think I kind of like hurt myself a couple times just because of how heavy this stuff is. So just being a little bit careless. So just be careful when you are doing this stuff. Take your time, read the book, and try not to get frustrated. So yeah. Okay, let's go on with the next step. Okay, next thing from here is this thing could actually stand up fairly easy. So we're just gonna stand it up here. You guys know this is the left, that's the right. You do have the arm brackets. Now these are also labeled with left, and this one says right on it. So all you gotta do is just set them up properly and tighten them up. Now, according to this, when you do put them in, there's gonna be, you'll see like a little hole right there, and then also like a little placeholder. Again, just fit it to the holes, match them up. Once you put it in, there is going to be a screw right there that you screw on, and then it will hold it in place. So the screw that you'll need for this is C, and there is 4 of them, but we're only using 2 though. And you're gonna use the other 2 C's on the next step. So there you go, very simple. Once you put it in, you just have to hold it. It's a little bit tricky at first, but once it's on, it's on. And then all you have to do is do the exact same thing on the other side, where what I do is I put the screw in first, and then I look on the other side to guide it in. Once this thing is pushing, I know I have it right on, and then I just put the wrench, and then just start turning it, and it tightens up pretty quick. There's not too many turns. It'll start tightening it up. Once you get it tight enough, you can release the back end. I'm not releasing it just yet because I don't want to put too much tension on that screw. But I just got enough of it, so there we go. So I'm already tight right there. It's good. It's set. Yeah, we should be good to go on the next step now. Okay, so for this next part, I actually lied. There's not 4 screws, it's 5. So 2 of them will go here to hold the brackets, and then the last 3 are gonna go here. This is heavy, and there is 3 holes here. Okay, so these 3 holes, that's where these 3 screws are gonna go. Now, down here on the base of this, you're gonna see 3 holes also. That's where this lines up. Now, because this thing is heavy, you might need a second person to do it with you, but let's see if I can do it by myself. Again, just be careful because it is heavy. So that's how you want to do. You want to just put it in just like this. Again, it's really hard for one person to hold on to it, but if I'm able to do it, then I think anyone can do it. All right, so rule of thumb, if you can get the top one first, that'll be good, because at least that you have a placeholder. And then I was able to go to the left, to the right. I do have to wiggle this thing around a little bit to get it in, but it's not bad. The only one that's a little bit harder to get through was that left side one, and just wiggle it around, and there you go. It's starting to come through. Now, because you don't want to put some extra pressure as you are tightening them up, you need to move this top part around a little bit, and then you could use your Allen wrench to start tightening it up. So let's go ahead and fast forward this. Okay, now the next thing is going to be a little bit tricky. I need to put that thing in this hole. So the easiest way to do it is just lift this up and put it on top. So let's do that.
This too?
Mm-hmm. No. And that should be it on that. It was a little bit tricky to do, so you just got to turn it sideways. But I think once you're in, now you should be able to rotate this thing and then pull this out for your legs. And yeah, should be good to go. There's one more piece, the headrest, so let's do that now. Okay, so here is the chair. So this is like a transformer chair. Everything apparently moves. Okay, headrest. Should be fairly easy. This is gonna be the last part of it that connects. So it says that this piece right here needs to connect right up there. If I look here at the bottom, there is 2 holes, and it does line up to these 2. So the way you do it is you want to put this top lip on top first and then snap it down. So line it up there, put it down, and then right here it's on. Only thing is, I don't know if it's lined up to the holes, so I kind of have to go back and forth until it's perfect. So there we go. I think that's right. And I think now I am lined up good. So the easiest way to do this is just do some finger tightening. Just that it's much easier to put the screws in first before you do the Allen wrench. Okay, so here we go. Chair's done. You get a bunch of screws here, a bunch of extra stuff, which we don't need. The book at this point, you don't need it, but I always save any of this stuff just in case. So the next thing we're gonna do is talk about the chair and what you get out of the capabilities. So in the bottom here, you always get some levers. So the one on the furthest back goes up and then down. The one in the front, you have this tilt option. Yeah, look how crazy this thing is. Now, if you wanna kick your feet up, there is a thing back here on the bottom to slide out for your legs. And then you throw it just like that so you can put your legs out. Now, if you want to lay down, this becomes like almost like a lounging chair. But very, very comfortable. Back here in the back, this thing can rotate back and forth. So you have different options to go down. You could swivel this neck part also, the headrest. So tons of things to do here. You go further back or you go closer. So it's pretty nice. Now right here on the arms, you do have a button right here in the inside and a button right there on the inside. When you push it, you can actually elevate it or bring it back down. So typically when a lot of people type, they type like this. Now, just depending on how your setup is, if you are, well, somebody like me that does a lot of videos, I typically type in like this. So as you can see, the armrest wouldn't help me much. But if I do move these up, now, look how it actually holds my hands up. It's pretty nice. So that way it releases the stress from there. The cushion is actually really, really good. So that's nice. The other thing is, if you are taller or need these things to come up or down, there's another button. Oh, there's a button right here. So if you pull it, it comes up. If you hold it again, you can go back down. And then of course it just locks in place. You could also put it in the middle and it'll stop right in the middle. So very, very nice. Now the next part is the back. You do have this back here that you could move it closer or back, and this actually will hug around your body. So the way it feels when I bring it in, it actually like secures me right there, which is very, very nice. So it's actually pretty good. Now, the one thing too is I just realized is this chair goes back no matter what. it wasn't because of that handle that was here, so that was my mistake. But that handle in the front, when I do pull it up, the first one, I can actually move the seat out or back. So forward or backwards. So if I do go forwards and I let it go, then it'll stay there. And then right now, as I'm moving it, this thing actually was able to come in and out. So as you can see, I'm playing with it. I'm finding things here. I think that the full seat, you can bring it up and down. So pretty nice how you can do that. With this thing, I'll do it one more time. You can lift it up, and then to move it back down, you have to push back and then down. So very nice. Same thing with this thing. You could bring it up and then push back and then down. So you could literally customize like everything about this chair. Look at that. Extremely comfortable, I gotta say, for when it comes to your work, your everything, when it comes to like comfortability, ergonomic. You want to have something really nice that's gonna take care of you. So this seat is actually very, very nice. I'm gonna really enjoy messing with this thing. So yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Have you guys ever seen anything like this? Pretty good. Setup, again, does take a minute, so you just gotta be patient. Yeah, leave me a comment below. Let me know what you guys think. With all that being said, you guys take care of each other. See you guys in the next one.